it is history repeating itself.
The car is slicker, smaller, lighter, more powerful. So it is a brand new car, but it has the core DNA of the 20-year-old Diesel Max running through it. The twin engine layout, the cockpit, so it feels remarkably similar. Getting back in, it is almost like jumping back in time and immediately getting excited about the world's fastest diesel car doing 350 miles an hour, and I can immediately see that the world's fastest hydrogen car is going to beat it. The car's moving, good.
We've had to learn an enormous amount, and I would say a lot more technical and a bigger team of people. It's certainly a possibility as a future fuel. I think it's got many, many uses, and it really depends on how concerned people are about emissions.
This is not, only a land speed record. This is very much engineering at its foremost, right up at the cliff face, and we're learning it. So it's proving that hydrogen works. Everyone here is excited about it, but they're actually doing it for functionality, and we're working out everything.
Hydromax push car, if you read, ready to push. Hydromax, ready, push.
The intention of that run was to achieve 160 miles an hour. Again, deployment of parachute. That was an important run for us because that was to establish our baseline run, where we kind of kept a fixed level of calibration and settings on the car. And then from that point onwards, we would be aware of each individual discrete change and how it would affect the behaviour of the car.
So we've gone from having a car that wouldn't start properly to having a car that now starts on the button every time. We now get a car that gets into gear, gets down the runway, through the gears, parachutes out, and now it's more about extracting more and more performance as we go on.
Very brief, successful run up to A point, we'll talk about that in a minute. The first run started both engines up, and it was a much higher idle than I was expecting or had seen before. Uncertain, so...
There is a huge buzz of excitement. It's been a year pushing these engines from their standard production level to the extreme 800 horsepower level they're at now. This is now the time when we're all together as a team, from vehicle, from fuel, from controls, from engines. So it's been a really exciting week. It's been a challenge, time pressures, not only on our available time here, but also our window when the weather allows us to go out. But ultimately, it's a very exciting week.
Testing is always unpredictable. That's why we do it. We test everything. That's engineering. We spend a huge amount of time testing, whether it's a race effort like this or whether it's our production machines. And we do that to find problems. And whilst it can be frustrating sometimes when we're working through those problems, the great thing is every problem we find is a solution that we put in place, which increases our chances of success when we're doing the actual record attempt. The car is a complex animal. There are an awful lot of interconnected subsystems, ECUs, very complex, necessarily complex electronic control system. There are lots of layers of safety on the car, and that's done very deliberately to make sure that the car always operates in a very safe way. An understandable challenge and part of the process of this UK testing is calibrating all of those subsystems. All of those systems are looking for parameters that they're not happy with, and then if they're not happy, they'll stop the car running, they'll abort an attempt. But of course what we're learning is the car may say I'm not happy with that, but the reality is it's something that's absolutely fine to run with. So we're just calibrating in a lot of those variables at the moment. However, as we move through those, it gets faster and faster and faster to identify the thing that we're not happy with, make that correction and implement it.
Now that we've got the painted bodywork on, the car is looking like a yellow race car. Very similar paint job to the JCB Diesel Max of 20 years ago. Yellow car, black underside. There is zero carbon, zero emissions. This is the first of a new breed.
Really, it's thrilling. And it's thrilling from an engineering point of view, I would say. And every little detail has to be thought through for something which is only 9 miles. So the gear shifts, the braking, everything has to be done in those 9 miles. Well, obviously a big thank you, but there will be an even bigger thank you if we get the record.